I think I can only use my microphone with earphones on, so that I took them off and I wasn't able to use it.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
please go ahead.
so factors that affect the growth of crop plants. Rainfall. The amount of rainfall that affects the crop plants. Flood and drought conditions affect the growth of crop plants. Soil condition. In coastal regions, sometimes in other regions too, soil has a high salt plants which can resist a high salt content in soil is beneficial. Disease. Plants are attacked by insects in nematodes and other disease-causing microbes which can decrease the yield.
Hmm. So biotic
Yeah.
stress-resistant plants that are produced are called disease-resistant plants, right? So these are all the factors that we had actually discussed, abiotic factor, rainfall, abiotic factor, soil condition, disease, right? So these are all the factors which actually are not in your hand. For example, rainfall is just not in your hand. Flood, drought is just not in your hands. The farmer is really helpless, right? After spending so much of money in preparing the land, in buying the seed, in having people, having at least 10 to 12 people per day, employing them, paying them salaries every month, investing on machines, investing on herbicides and weedicides, pest control, irrigation, spending a lot of electricity bill on the irrigation because he has a huge pump to run. So just imagine after spending a few thousands or maybe a few lakhs on that land, if there was a flood or a drought, what happened? Entire harvest got, just literally down the drains. So the farmer would be in a utter loss, right? That's one of the reasons also, actually, I'm sure you must be reading it in the news that the farmers of a specific state, they have actually come down the roads on the roads. They have several protests to be made, and actually farmers are the ones, if they were not there, it would have been very difficult for us to get food on a daily basis, right? Because even if one has money, but somebody has to grow it, and it's such a irony that the people who grow it actually they do not have the money to eat, right? That's really sad. Okay, so soil condition in coastal regions, this is a example that they gave. In coastal regions, right, where the sea is very close by, so the soil would have a very high salt content, obviously for obvious reasons, right? Because it would be high in sodium, it would be high in chlorine, magnesium, etc. So those plants can have a resistant, they would have a very good resistance towards a high salt content soil, right? And this is very beneficial because nowadays, with so much of chemicals being used, soils are anyways getting a little leached, and they are getting too much of exposure to chemicals and fertilizers. So what is happening is that the more resistant variety of crops we grow, it is better for us. It is easier on the farmer's pocket as well. Okay. Now disease, yes, of course, we discussed this portion. There is just one disease that happens, and diseases spread really fast amongst crops because they are so closely, planted to each other. So just a handful of crops get affected, the entire farm, in no time, the entire farm will get affected. So it's very much important to, keep constant check, to always be alert and see that there are no insects, nematodes, or diseases being caused. Okay, Srishti, can you please read this out?
Yes, ma'am. Factors that improve the yield of crop plants, improvement that are aimed to maintain the quality of crop plants, nutritional factors. Improving crop quality is done in the following plants: protein quality in pulses, oil quality in seeds, and preserving quality in fruits to reduce loss by spoilage.
Reduce loss by spoilage. So basically, what are the factors which, if worked upon, then the yield will be very good. To see if the protein quality of the pulses, what are pulses? Pulses are basically the dals that we have, the legumes, right? The masoor dal, moong dal, these are all the pulses. Chane ki dal, rajma, lobia and all. So basically, if this, for example, if this is a chana dal, right? There are two sets of chana dal. Now this set of chana dal has almost, I would say, 80% protein. A proper test was conducted in the lab, and they did quite a few tests, and they reduced the number that this particular chane ki dal has got 80% protein vis-a-vis this chane ki dal which has got 60% protein, right? So don't you think obviously the farmer would prefer this chane ki dal? Or even for that matter, the consumer who would buy, of course, it's not written that how much percentage of protein is there in which dal, but if the end users like us, if we have this one handful of this, we will get more protein by having this. We need to have 1.5 portions of this to have same protein. Right, so it's always beneficial to have a much more quality product. Okay. Oil quality in seeds. For example, you grow sunflower. Somebody grows sunflower. Sunflower seeds say, sunflower oil is being extracted. So the seeds should be healthy enough to have very high content of fat. The fat or the oil, the percentage of oil in that sunflower seed should be really high. So that by grinding 1 kg of that sunflower seed, one should ideally get 100 ml of oil. Unlike, maybe there was another sunflower seed, it gave, you had to grind 2 kgs to get 100 ml of sunflower oil. So obviously the manufacturer would also prefer this. More production, the higher production, right? The third is preserving quality in fruits to reduce loss or spoil. This is something very, very, important. For example, you must have seen strawberries, right? Strawberries have got a very high water content. That's the reason why, max to max 2 days is the shelf life. You can just keep it for 2 days outside in a normal room temperature, right? Whereas, orange or maybe, sweet lime. For example, if I take sweet lime, in case of a sweet lime, even till 7 to 8 days you can keep it outside. So it has got a longer shelf life. Now, the place where strawberry is manufactured, for it to, because strawberry cannot be manufactured in all the places, right? Srishti, you would be knowing certain parts of Maharashtra grow strawberry, right? Mahabaleshwar and all.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. So basically, but the entire country wants to have strawberry. So plucking, harvesting, plucking, packing, selection packing, and then, sending it to Maharashtra Central, and then from Maharashtra to other states, and from that state to that particular district, and then to the required market, and from the market to the consumer. It will jolly well take 6 to 7 days. Jolly well. Right, so the strawberries will be in no position to be, edible. They would be all rotten by then. So they have to grow, the farmers have to grow resistant, stout variety of strawberries which can withstand any kind of temperature. Nowadays actually they are trying to grow strawberries not only in the hills but also on the plains to see if they can grow. The strawberries needs to have a higher and a longer shelf life, because they have found out some strawberries which can last for at least 7 days in normal room temperature. So they might as well grow that kind of strawberry rather than this kind. Right? So this will help in, reducing the spoilage also. Otherwise, the strawberry which had just a shelf life of 2 days, 80% of it would have been spoiled in 7 days. So it's like an utter loss for the farmer. So he might as well go for a strawberry which has a shelf life for 7 days, and he can sell and earn the money from the entire stock. Right? Okay. Arnav, back to you again. Please read this.
Factors that improve the yield of crop plants. Changing maturity time. By growing a plant that grows and yields faster, the crop cycle is reduced to increase profits. This reduces the cost that a farmer incurs during crop production. Uniform maturity allows the farmer to harvest crops together. Other agronomical factors. Tall branching plants are beneficial for plants whose leaves are to be utilized. For example, fodder crops that are grown to feed farm animals. Short plants are beneficial in cereals so that nutrition is not consumed by the plant to grow taller.
Correct. Thank you. So basically, there are many more factors. One very important factors which they're trying out now is by changing the maturity time, right? So how do you change the maturity time? For example, normally with what many farmers they do is that they plant crops in batches, in one field only, in one farm only, but they plant it in batches. Why? Could be, positive manpower. It's just him and his, another person, or maybe his wife, just two of them. So it will be difficult for them to manage an entire field. So they do plot wise and they just grow it in batches. But what happens is that, by the time, this grows, this is just 15-day old and this is about to be sown, right? So first they need to harvest this. After 1 month they'll harvest this, and after 2 months they'll harvest this. So what happened? It is actually, if not triple, but their cost has gone up, right? Just imagine if they could, sow all of them at one go, right? Then at least, the chemicals, the weeds, weedicides, the pesticide that they would have needed would have also been less, because they could have sprayed the entire field, right? So basically the crux of the matter is, instead of growing it in batches, they should have it, maturity time should be at the same time, because that labor cost depends a lot, so that it can be harvested all of them together. They can harvest all of them together, right? And what are the other agronomical factors? This is what we discussed, the tall branching plants, right? This takes time to grow because it will grow tall, it will have branches, but these are beneficial because the leaves can be fed to the farm animals, right? So this is a beneficial thing. Vis-a-vis short plants, they would rather prefer cereals to be short. Why? Because if they grow taller, they would eat away, or they would consume many manure or many fertilizers from the ground and just taking up or picking up height. But I don't need the height. I just need the cereals. So I will not allow it to grow. I would prefer it to be short, but to have more, fruits in it, right? Otherwise, half of the nutrients will be consumed only to pick up height and to have leaves. Okay. Last, Srishti, read this out.
Yes, ma'am. Crop production management. Crop production management includes practices which help in lowering of soil erosion, provide better facilities to maximize utilization of nutrients, improve the fertility of soil, enhancing crop production.
Yeah, so this is basically an overall of what we actually discussed. It covers everything, right from seed selection to soil management to irrigation to pest control, to take genetically modified seeds, to everything, storage and everything. It covers everything. Production management, right?